Yeah, welcome in, friends. What's going on? Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I only had to ban one troll in the past 3 days. It's amazing. Just happened this morning, too, because I didn't like their attitude. They got up in my comments and told me how it was that I was coming off, that I'm just so rude to all of my channel members and subscribers. I don't thank them enough for taking the time out of my day to come over and join my channel. It's because I'm not a fucking puppet. That's the dumbest ass opinion in the world. I don't need to beg people to come watch my channel, please, to help make myself feel better. I pump out raw shit. I pump out raw sewage. We talk about things as they should be talked about. I'm not here to pander. I'm not here to rub a mystery in your face and wonder and awe with no fucking end. No, we get to our own answers in this circumstance. So I had to ban that son of a bitch. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck are you to tell me how I come off? I don't care. That's a you problem. I said, then fuck off. YouTube even asked me if I really wanted to send it because it was so rude. I said, yeah, please send it because I'm going to ban him right after. That's how we keep things clean around here. I'm not about to be manipulated. I'm not about to be love bombed in my comment section. I don't even fall for it. And a few of you out there that I know that can't stop listening to my channel know exactly what I'm talking about right now. I don't fucking care. I don't get clout. You don't get clout. Well, you can, but it's not natural. This channel doesn't get clout. I'm not a true crime mystery fucking let's talk about it and knit together channel. This channel is all about exposing motherfuckers. Talking about the lies and deceptions, the things that you want to hear when you tune into a situation like this. And this one's worth talking about because it's so in your face, the lies from Janie, Daniel, and Malaya. I don't care about your emotional state, about how you think Malaya loved her kids so much, or any more of your fucking nonsense rhetoric. This is trying to put a less harsh spin on nothing short of child murder. And it's ridiculous. Accidents don't need cover-ups. Whatever that rhetorical term means to the people out there who love to bail out of thinking. The fuck out of here. We know why we're here. That's what we talk about. That's what's interesting. That equals interesting. But it's been a good few days. I haven't been live for a few days. You probably have noticed. Trying to clean up around here. Trying to get some things straightened out. I'm getting cabin fever here in February. Swinging at the fences. Oh, man. I got to hand it to you, though. I do thank Mike Dammann for turning me on to his PLAIDS, which is an acronym. It's a little tool that you can use when you're analyzing statements for deception, of course, and that's priority leakage, avoidance, intentions, distancing language, and sensitivities. That's not the be-all and end-all, but it's a great tool in your Batman statement analysis belt. I love it. Janie hates it. Janie is absolutely beside herself with Mike Dammann for whatever reason. She should be thanking him. She should be hanging on his every word, learning things. Especially when it comes to what would otherwise be a critical analysis, an outside peer, in that sense, a peer review of what it is that you're coming across like. Now, I don't mean in talking about the situation, but Janie, for somebody who claims to be so innocent and everything, you brush away everything that was brought up to you to talk about. You had every opportunity. You took that opportunity, Janie, just to go over and reiterate the same information that you gave the CBC. Vivalda, thank you very much for that super sticker, darling. I appreciate it. I do love you all. Most of you. You can't go around YouTube with rose-colored glasses. The majority of people are dangerous in that sense. Are here online with malintent. Don't give a shit about your channel. But this is a scammer-heavy area. You've got to be on your toes. Oh, I love Mike. I love Mike in that sense. But more importantly, when it comes to people who are interested in all of these cases that keep coming up in true crime, going over to Mike Dammann is your best friend. It gives you something to focus on as a content creator that's relevant to the case. Simple statement analysis. And it sounds a lot more complicated the majority of the time. What's complicated, or it seems complicated, is that people are able to remember so much. You're like, holy fuck, I generally have to go and search that because you're not thinking about it all the time. But statement analysis is a fun way and a productive way in these cases that you can help in that sense, rather than rely on trying to get close to people who are associated with the case. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're talking about, you're glad, Callie, that Janie reached out, sent Mike those audio messages? Listen, I have to reinforce Mike's message in all of this, which is, I feel that he's trying to encourage her to tell the RCMP the truth. That's what I gathered. That's what I've gathered anyway. And he's genuine about it. I agree. She needs to stop this foolishness. Quit trying to make yourself a victim in all of this, Janie, because you're not. The thing is, Janie falls into a pattern of behavior that would fall in line with somebody who is covering up and holding guilty knowledge of this situation. And of course she does. Of course she is. She's had all of this time to come out and talk about this situation the way it should be talked about. And she comes out and she continues to lie and insist that her ridiculous story is some sort of demonstration of just how innocent she is in all of this. And Daniel. Well, it's not going to work because she doesn't have any context. There's nothing to quote. There's nothing there. Hey, Queez, good to see you. And Sweet Tea, of course. Is that Joyous? Thank you very much, Joyous. Thank you very much, darling. I appreciate that. That's very generous, Joyous. Thank you. I don't know why my alert isn't going off as it should. Why does it do that? Huh. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. It's like the Nightbot isn't aligned in that sense. I'll figure it out later. The alert box. I'll worry about it later, I guess. I appreciate it, Joyous. Thank you, darling. Sweet Tea. Thank you very much. See, it worked for Sweet Tea. What the hell's going on? I appreciate that. Giving you my love, Sweet Tea. Thank you very much. And Charity, too, of course. Oh, she's loving it in the background. She had an off day today. Stayed around here, and we went back to bed for a couple hours this morning, which was nice. Then we got up and we made some spicy mushroom with ground beef and like half a jar of... What kind of sauce was that? Just regular spaghetti sauce, like a portobello mushroom sauce. We mixed it all together and poured linguine noodles in it. We cut it up. I mean, that's pretty good. I put like 6 green Thai chili peppers in as I was browning the meat, so all of the fat would be spicy. Oh man, I hit it. I hit the level. It's perfect. I have to remember that number 6 green Thai chilies, seeds and everything. Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, linguine's all right. Oh, topped off with a lot of the fake Parmesan cheese, of course. It's not fake. It's just the craft stuff. It's the lesser of the quality. But it was good. Soul food, baby. So where were we with talking about Janie? Just saying it right now. That doesn't really matter. Like, I don't think Janie isn't prepared. She's not motivated to tell the truth in this circumstance. That's what RCMP's job is going to be, is to give her the proper motivations, first and foremost. But we have to send Janie the proper message and not just hate on her all of the time, right? She makes it so easy. Oh, Lindy, you got a super high five. Thank you very much. Thank you, and for you and Charity. Oh, we appreciate that. You damn well know it, Lindy. Thank you guys very, very much. There is a way out of all of this for you, Janie. And that's being a champion of the truth. You've demonstrated the exact opposite. You appeal to people's logic as a way of getting out of the question in the moment. That was very disappointing. Using these moments to say something, and you go and resort to what you claim to be the truth, which is nothing but a rhetorical version of your same old script that you gave the RCMP, which I acknowledge is very important. Your story doesn't change that much, but your story lacks in one important factor, and it's detail. All of your stories lack detail. Specifically, Daniel's story and your story, Janie, lack all of the detail. And isn't it interesting? If you go back and read the initial responding officers' reports that were in the papers to get the search warrants for your phone records, you weren't exactly forthcoming with any information as to what you guys were doing that morning, other than drifting in and out of sleep and neglecting your duties as parents for whatever reason in the middle of the day on a Friday. None of this smells right. And this case is being built against you, Daniel, and you, Janie. The best thing Janie could do is get out of this right now and tell the RCMP exactly what happened. But somebody's still going to have to be accountable for what did happen. And whatever did happen that May 1st into May 2nd is so horrible, so unimaginable, so wrong, so violent, that it requires them to cover their tracks and lie. People don't do this because an accident happened and they disregard human life to that way. It's just how they disposed of the bodies. They didn't know better. It doesn't happen like that. There's a reason why they have to cover all of this up, and it's their direct hand in the incident. Because we love Mike so much. I forgot to finish this off from the last time. He's got a new clip over on his channel, what we're going to look at in a moment, but to finish off what she was prioritizing in her statements overall that she gave Mike, there was a high self-focus and victimhood. Statements emphasized her suffering. She used the term, "My life has been turned upside down, inside out, tearing me apart," she says. In innocence, I had nothing to do with any of this. Overspecifies of the children's last moments or active searching. Child details are secondary. Jack's curiosity was mentioned briefly to explain behavior. There's no sense of urgency. In genuine missing children statements or missing child cases, priority is usually victim-centered. And the victims in this are Jack and Lily, Janie. You seem to be placing yourself in a situation. Let me scroll back a little bit. In your statements to Mike, Janie prioritized establishing a normal routine over explaining the disappearance. Thursday, I get up. I did my regular thing. They went to town. It was a normal day, a day like any others. But it wasn't. It wasn't an ordinary normal day just like any others. It was a work day. It was a Friday. And the first thing to make it abnormal is the fact that the kids were home. That's not a normal day. The kids were home and you had to otherwise alter your daily routines. The fact that you want to skip over it as though that there's nothing worth remembering doesn't take away from the fact that there's important information that needs to be filled there. Your refusal to fill that information in speaks to a lot more than just the time that it took to tell you. It was a normal day, a day like any others. It was ordinary, right? When she asked what happened on Thursday, she responds with her actions, "I get up, my regular thing, not the children's fate or key events." Janie, that's the first indicator to everybody. Even your speaking to your interview on the CBC and to everybody else. It's all you-centric, as though the story is meant to try to distance yourself from any accountability to where Jack and Lily are. That's incredibly suspect. And in the same breath, you want us to think that you've got an effing heart of gold, And don't we think that if you did have something to do with it, you wouldn't have broke already? What kind of bullshit are you eating? That's crazy. That's illogical. That's senseless. It's nonsense. Truth and Beauty 25, Janie would have been aware of the neglect and abuse at very least. Well, you're right. She loosely refers to it all of the time because she tries to put that on Malaya. Remember the whole calls because the kids are outside without their boots or coats on? It goes far beyond that because the kids are going to school, for example, without the proper attire. So it's an ongoing issue, okay? It's not just going out in the backyard with no boots or coats on. The way that Janie's describing it is problematic. Like it or not, you have a responsibility living in the driveway, Janie. You have a responsibility to protect those kids. So she went back to talk about these minor habits. The only time I called Malaya is when Jack would take his boots off, or Jack would take his jacket off because he wouldn't put them back on for me. Well, that's a different story than you told us in the first place. That's different. Not really different in the context of things, but that's completely different to what you told people to begin with, Janie, not working out for you. I wouldn't let him run around the yard without boots on because you never know what you're going to step on, a sharp rock or whatever. Or a fucking needle in that driveway. This defense perceived neglect, prioritizing self-image as a responsible caregiver, something which we know, Janie, that you're not a responsible caregiver, okay? And there was resentment between you and Malaya. So, by the way, speaking about Malaya, she provided that fifth statement to Constable McIntyre on May 9th, 2025. In her summary, she contradicted what she told the police through dispatch. Malaya said Jack or Lily did not normally wander on their own. That's completely the opposite to what you told dispatch. You told dispatch they were known to wander with their possible autism, right there, Malaya? So already this whole scenario stinks to high heaven. There's deception and uncooperative caregivers right from the get-go. It was... They didn't get a very easy time with Daniel and Malaya in trying to understand what was going on. They have a short, BS, deceptive account of things with Daniel really applying his experiential memory over the course of the previous 72 hours and trying to fill in the important times of Thursday and Thursday evening. He showed deception from the get-go. And it wasn't because he couldn't remember. He didn't want to remember it. He still doesn't. One moment, please. Dry air. It's bullshit, Coop. It's how kids learn. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what she says. She always has these excuses and reasons for why she wasn't able to prevent whatever from happening. Something that she doesn't want to directly talk about. But it's inferring the fate of Jack and Lily. Something that she should be prioritizing in all of her language, in all of her statements. But she never does. It's always about herself. Listen to Mike for a second here.
Keep on talking to me and leave you guys in the dark. It's not my style. I have interest to suck up to people and make them feel so comfortable that they keep on talking to me and leave you guys in the dark. It's not my style. I have tried my best to keep things on a certain level where people continue to speak with me. And, well, let me say it like this. The buck stops here, baby. So, Janie Mackenzie, I don't give a crap if you're upset with me or not. If you thought that I was going to present what you said to me in a certain light.
There, I gave you enough information for your next show. Go on and make a fool out of me, because that's all you guys love to do. Look at the facts, man. Look at the facts. Go back and do your research.
This is so weird when people say, go do your research. You know what? When somebody argues with you and says, go do your research, no.
That's so ridiculous, Janie. We've been listening and watching you since the very beginning. Every word, every clip, every opportunity that you've taken. There's not much more to research in that field there, honey. You just can't stand the fact that nobody believes you. Just because your alibi, your story, is lacking context, it lacks any reasonable explanation for. It's not including, and it doesn't include Jack and Lily. Nobody was watching the kids and they just disappeared. Really, in a nutshell, in a summary, that's what you want to emphasize to the world. Nobody was paying attention because they're all sleeping in the middle of the day and the kids disappeared. And you think that that's going to be good enough? The information that you gave police was indirect, only had things to do with your last known location, very specific things. There's so much more to this story. It has everything to do with the toxic relationship between Daniel and Malaya. We've been saying that since the get-go. You could see that right away in the first articles about this case, about Janie's fight at the end of the driveway. Ooh, why so sensitive? You knew what was going on, therefore to dictate and kick people off of your property for what you claimed to be bringing things up that didn't have anything to do with Jack and Lily at that moment in time. Nonsense. What shit. What nonsense. She's out there using the term unaliving. Janie, there's a reason why you use the term unaliving. It's to get around YouTube ad guidelines. So we can keep the monetization on these fantastic videos on you. So thank you for using that term, by the way. She is doing some heavy pandering. But these are private messages to Mike, of course. Fuck me. She's hard to listen to.
You have at least something, but she has nothing.
Whether it's a pair of running shoes or a new...
Paying the bills. Mike's over there paying the bills. Trying to sell me Fidelity mutual funds. Let's see.
Go ahead, you got enough for your next show. Go make a fool of me. What does it say? Use what I gave you. That's what I did, Janie. And you don't like the way I presented it? I'm not here to make a fool out of you, period. You don't understand what I'm doing. What I'm doing is getting straight into what it is you're saying. Okay? And if what you're saying is misleading, then I have two choices. I'm going to point it out, or I mislead my audience.
No, you can trust Mike. He's great in that sense. But it goes to show you just what Janie's tactics are in this whole back and forth. Such a ridiculous scenario. You're not even educated on what it is that you're accusing Mike of, Janie. People are just attacking her for apparently no reason. It has everything to do with your attitude. It has everything to do with what it is that you're not telling us, Janie. What you're not telling the RCMP.
And by overlooking something can give the impression that, either Mike Dammann has lost his brain cells or everything is clear and Janie is not lying. So I don't know what the hell you expect people to do. You know what I mean? I don't know what you expect for people to do. So I told you, I gave you a chance to come clean enough to where people will not take it out on Daniel if you're not, because I told you, and this is really, I'm saying everything to you in public that I say to you in private, Janie. Because right now it's D-Day. You may not realize, you may be out of your mind in your own little dream world where you are always right and everybody else is wrong. So there's more to come, people, more from the audio that I have of hers. I'm going to stretch it a little bit because I want to make sure I get it. I don't leave anything out. Let's say it like that. And I don't want to give others the opportunity to misrepresent something or say, oh, look, hey, Janie clarified it. Belinda and Durwood made it all up. And all the times where she talked about, I guess you believe Belinda, I guess you believe Belinda. Did you hear the part where she said about the heart not lying? Let me listen to what I haven't shared with you guys.
She tries so hard to mimic herself after Belinda. But the damage has been done already, Janie, and especially in this case, you can't have those mistakes back. This is life. This is the game of life, girl. Let's see.
As yet. And just pay close attention, maybe. As I know you do.
The reason why I'm asking you this is because all the I've been telling you all this stuff. I don't have to.
What did you tell me? Nothing.
We have
Nothing. You told me nothing out of script, really.
no one to really sit down and talk to about this.
You did with Durwood.
Because they don't believe anything we say. They do believe total strangers over the people that were here.
I don't believe total strangers. Janie, I believe you. I believe your statements, but I believe your statements for what they really are. Not how you try to make them sound. It's a long pause. come clean. You see, here's my problem, Janie.
What a creep.
Okay, I don't like to hear people crying.
What a fucking weirdo. What a fucking weirdo. Janie, you're nuts. You're nuts. There's no reason except for effect to be crying when you're talking to Mike. You're not reliving any harsh moments. Come on, Janie. This is such a nonsense cry. It's almost like her attempt to disguise her voice. Do you know what I mean? So the point, it's like camouflaging your voice with emotion. You're camouflaging it with forced emotion in order to take away from somebody's true attempt to gauge you and your true emotions. Does that make sense? Like, one, nobody cries like that. You're not crying for any particular reason. You want to tell us why you're crying now, Janie? What are you crying now for? You crying for Justin's dog? Wouldn't you cry too for 2 disappeared kids? Come on. You make it too easy. Christ. That's just a clapping seal. You got it right. She's not reminiscing, just grieving. She's acting like a damn soap opera. Miss Chancellor, fake ass. Hey, you're quoting Young and the Restless, just a clapping seal? I love Y&R. I used to. With Victor, Mrs. Abbott. My babysitter used to watch it when I came home from public school in the 80s. It got me hooked. I was forced. It's all that was on. Just sitting there watching Y&R. It'd come on at like at 5 or 5:30 or something like that where I lived. Really got into it. I'm like, man, this really sucks. And then I'm like, ooh, what's going on now? Because you get to know everybody, right? It sucks you in. Then it sucked me in for so long. It's like, oh, why do I waste my time with this shit? That's when soap operas were soap operas. Now everybody's moved their drama to YouTube. Now you can have a real life soap opera. Oh, shit. Yeah, you know, Janie watched that shit faithfully. Oh, she's got to watch her shows. Even people at work used to tune in for the soap operas in the afternoon. You really didn't have any choice. Price is Right would probably be on in between those. Price is Right used to be on like midday back in the day. Oh, it's such a great rich opener. Yes, Victor. Very serious actor. And I remember a dude that played on it looked like Sting. I don't think it was Sting. No, it wasn't Sting, but he looked like him. That blonde dude. I can't remember his name now. He was like the second lead man. Yeah, all of her relationships are filled with that dramatic overreaction. Well, I think Janie's probably high maintenance in that sense, emotionally. Would you guys, anybody in my chat, would you let Janie babysit your children? Would you consider Janie babysitting your children if you wanted to go to the movies? If it's date night or something, you call in a sitter. What about Daniel? Fuck, you'd have no copper wires left in your house by the time you got back. What about Malaya? Babysitter of the year? YMCA? Yeah. I think that's a no. No offense, Janie. Nothing against you. But I think you understand where people's trust lies in all of this. Oh, you want us to take your word for it that you had nothing to do. That's what it really comes down to. They come up with such a bullshit story and then insist that because you're not taking their word for it, because you don't align with flawed logic, you don't ask questions, you don't want actual proof, you don't want answers in regards to the fate of Jack and Lily. No. You wouldn't even let them dog sit? Well, there goes that business. That would be a... What about Durwood? Durwood and Kent. Would you buy a used car from Kent? Would you let Kent work on your car? Kent's the type of guy that advertises his services he's not qualified to perform. That's the problem. That's the difference, buddy. Hey, Kent? See, I've got a certificate of qualification in a particular aspect that detectives from the RCMP always love to pull pool from because of their keen ability to troubleshoot systems and interpret all kinds of different drawings in that sense. It's a real bonus if you're trying to get onto the force. Fucking Kent. What a dumbass. Oh, hey, I got some bracelets. You guys want to buy 10 bracelets? These are awareness bracelets. Friendship bracelets. Oh, so fucking involved. Look at how much you're helping, Kent. What a fucking idiot. Any chance for a pervert to get his face on the global news. That's fantastic. You can never take that back, Kent. You didn't care. You idiot. You didn't even bother to change your fucking shirt. The hell do you care? You're trying to fool the world that you're not clever enough to be accessorizing after the fact. We'll call it. That son of a bitch.
But I don't give a shit when somebody does it when they're lying at the same time. You see? That's what I have a big problem with. That's not repentance. That's not saying I screwed up and I know something and I did something.
The question is, what's really going to be a question now is how is it going to progress out there outside Garlock Road with that old nasty broken down RV that doesn't run in your driveway? You're trying to block this RV in for the long haul. It's like you've made your own little auto wrecking yard there. Maybe you should get into auto wrecking, guys. Because now, there's no kids around. There's never going to be any kids around, so there's no point in having any fences. No point for that imaginary pool you were going to put in, is there, Janie? No point to continue working on the fence. Janie wants you to think that that's not a driveway. It's her yard now. Ain't nobody staying in that RV anymore. There's no more kids around. Janie's moved back into their bedrooms. And she's taking some donos for a new stove because Danny's fucked that up. Has he fixed that front door yet?
And I'm gonna let you know. And I hate how I feel right now about not being able to get you to see this. But you go ahead and you talk to all these people that you think are on your side. I can guarantee you something. The lady that interviewed you, if she listens to me, she's not going to disagree. Maybe on a couple of things she'll say, hey, I have a different theory on that. But there's not going to be any agreement with her, of hers, with anything that you said. I can guarantee you that, Janie. I can guarantee you that I told you, people.
You can tell Janie's last ditch effort in these conversations too, and it's to add specificity to a generalized point. Like, she doesn't want to talk about, for example, them unaliving the kids and driving them away from that property and hiding them. She only wants to talk about how she's not guilty of burying the kids on her own property and unaliving them there in that sense. You know, something very specific in light of the fact that you're insisting that the children are red-rummed or unalived at that point in time. So she continuously crosses that line back and forth. Janie is giving herself away. Yeah, Janie's giving herself away. Lies never work out, guys, like this. Their biggest problem is nobody believed them because their story is so unbelievable and dripping with neglect that the only reason why you would insist upon it is to divert our attention away from the blatant, obvious, worst case scenario. Well, the best case scenario, Robin, is to have one of the three people tell us what happened. That time is going to come. There's going to come a time, who knows how it's going to unfold. It could unfold with detectives calling them all back in at at the same time for an interview. That point always comes. Remember this. You can go and cross-reference with any case, most cases. It always comes when the detectives have all of their information. We're going through the long part of this because we have uncooperative people who were there with them, which is a clue unto of itself, excuse me. They know where to look in all of this. People walking around with a bullshit story which lacks any context, who talk like they do as though they're hiding something in that sense, always are. And they are in this circumstance too, especially here. Like, how is life really like in their minds right now, do you think? Knowing full well what it is that they're lying about, and they know that we know. It's an interesting observation in psychology, witnessing them have to lie in order to try to keep themselves out of jail. Who knows why it is at any one time they're lying, but they lie about everything. And they're pretending to be innocent with omitting any sort of information, which is not going to fly. It's going to come to a trial. The expectation is that the parents are there to protect the children. And you've been so inconsistent, all of you, Janie and Daniel, and you're inconsistent with the claims and the story that you gave the RCMP, admittedly, is not an excuse. It means what really happened in this circumstance is completely different to what it is that you're insisting from your perspective. They have no interest in finding Jack and Lily in that sense. In fact, the exact opposite. They will get one of these three into a point psychologically in the near future in an interview room where I feel they'll give up the burial site. It's going to get that tight. It's going to get that hot in that interview room. Because when the detectives sit down and really start probing and continuing with this, because it's such a wealth of information every time that you do. Look at how affected you are, Janie. You're coming out of your skin. You're hiding something. We can see it. We know it. You can lessen the effect of that. You can take control of your life or lose control of it. You're making the RCMP do this the long way, the hard way. Yeah, it's not other people's. It's not other people. Just a clapping seal. I hear you. She's too concerned about her real grandchildren. The question. Imagine their embarrassment, Janie, when they are older, listening to your lies and your fake crying in this sense. Oh, they're going to need therapy in that sense. Janie, do you got your wallet open? Do you got your wallet ready? Oh, Maria. Thank you very much. Maria Valverde Boutier. Thank you, AB, and much joy to Charity. Thank you, darling. Mwah! I appreciate that very much. There's no doubt that they're responsible for what happened to Jack and Lily in my mind. No doubt. It would be impossible for the RCMP to ignore it. And they're not ignoring it. I was worried in the very beginning, but the more I got to learn, the less worried I became. Let's listen to this Janie clip.
People don't believe you, and they won't believe you. And the more time goes by, the less people will believe you.
What the hell? Anybody want to buy a Hyundai? Not this guy. They're trying to sell me the Santa Fe. It's kind of a cool little ride.
Yeah, it's not gonna look good. You need to come clean. Both of you.
Henry.
I have to get through everything.
They do need to come clean. Who do you think... They're going to break Daniel in the end. They're going to break Daniel like the little bitch you are, Danny boy. Like Mummy's little helper. Why would you move in with Malaya after 2 weeks? Don't you think that's rushing it a little bit? You've been tweaking hard for years. It's time to hang him up, boy. It's time to wrap it up. Pack it in. Party's over. Oh, snarky pants. Well, one, it's not true. There's no way that you can get past the fact that they want you to believe that they were drifting in and out of sleep. You can't get much more distancing than that. Yawn. Oh. Ooh. Well, I heard them, then I didn't, and now we're here. There's more to this story. Just like Danny said on the CBC, there's so much more to this story. So insistent. They had to take that out. They edited that out. I wish we get to see the complete interview. I got to see all these Daniel interviews. Eventually. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Julie. But it's the government. It takes time. The evidence gathering phase takes time, like it or not. But then they've got to decide what they want to do. I wonder where Daniel drove. I wonder where Daniel drove to. If Bradley Wong could pick 5 places on a map where he believes he heard that car, the farthest he heard the car, that would be helpful. You know what I mean? So then you could draw a perimeter from within this. To me, he described a 180-degree area from Garlock Road. Really, Garlock Road north in that sense, or east, and the west, or the south. If you draw 180 degrees north, that's where I picture him describing it. That's just the way I picture it. Yeah, cool, Jay. Larrig Road. Yeah, I heard him say that. Right, read that, excuse me. There's not that many roads up there to get confused around, right? There's only so many. Yeah, Robin, he drove around disposing of evidence back and forth, in your opinion? I wonder what the RCMP think he was doing. The more that I've gotten to learn about this situation, the more I believe the possibility of the days, like the days in which Danny and Janie were all out searching and incorporating their friend group in with their search. Was that just Saturday onward? I'd love the whole timeline of Daniel's activities after 10:02 or 10:30 on Friday. Malaya described him in that interview with the constable as being evasive and standoffish from the RCMP. And she said that he said to her they weren't doing enough. He wasn't doing what he wanted them to do or expected them. He was tweaked. He was paranoid. He was straight tweaking. We saw what he looked like. Like Golem. Schmiegel.
Just me talking to you. And telling you all this stuff. I don't have to.
She's trying to BS me. She's trying to make me feel special.
We have no one to really sit down and talk to about this.
I will talk to you if you
Because they don't believe anything we say. They do believe total strangers over the people that were here.
Okay. And? Oh my God,
thank
Jay.
you. Thank you for opening up. I don't have anybody else I can open up and talk to. Oh, you're so very special, very important, exclusive. Exclusivity. Oh, you're just like me now. Ah, I can open up to you just like I did Durwood. No, Janie, we didn't mean your legs, honey. Close those damn legs. Nasty. It's coming across stalkerish. Weirdo. What's that, Janie? What's that, Janie? Mike's the only one that you can open up to? Oh, I understand.
Janie.
And you may think that you know us, but you don't know nothing about us. Is all you could do is just go on what people say.
Okay.
Well, now you're getting to know the real me. I do have a heart. And I would not harm those children. And
What?
neither would Daniel.
Would not.
He may come off all tough and everything. But I know he had nothing to do with
I missed this part, sorry.
Because they don't believe anything we say. They do believe total strangers.
What? Daniel may come off all tough and everything. Oh, I don't think so.
Who have a heart. And I would not harm those children. And
What?
neither would Daniel.
Would not.
He may come off all tough and everything. But I know he had nothing to do with
I missed this part, sorry.
Because they don't believe anything we say. They do believe total strangers over the people that were here.
Okay. And? I know people who don't know what this case is about. If they're listening now for the first time, they will say, oh my God, this guy is such an asshole. She's crying and look how heartless he is. Well, I hope you'll read the comment section because I'm sure people will fill you in if you're new.
Mike's worried about the first timers. But that's so funny. Janie is really putting on that. What did they say down here? Mike, she said about Daniel, he may come off all tough, etc. Repent, Janie, repent before it's too late. Oh, shit. Julia Turner says, you think a guy who blacks the eyes of two small children comes off all tough? A man who took Malaya's phone, presumably, so she couldn't leave, which is why you tried to assure people she could have left any time? A man up on SA and forcible confinement charges? That's as weak as it gets. Daniel is obviously too weak to tell the truth and take his lumps. People believe he harmed Jack and Lily because of his prior behavior. Some of it recent. So if the important thing is to you, or the important thing to you is what people think, tell the truth. What happened in the driveway? What were you doing with the two sledgehammers? I believe you heard the kids. Oh, and how you know, Janie, when people start testifying in court, who knows what can come out. Thanks. Interesting comments. All that self-pity, Janie, when two innocent children are, what was your quote, unalived? Yeah, people are picking out her priority in that sense, the P in PLAIDS. A lot of that. Janie, Mike is using your own words. It's not about you. Excuse me. It's not about you. It's about the truth. It sounds like she said that she knows Daniel liked to toughen up the kids but never harmed them. Is that what she said? That's interesting. The bear paws. It's okay for her to say that about her heart, but not Janie. I honestly have nothing but an eye roll in the sigh, says Holly Jolly. Ginger's mom says, I am not sure about what total strangers say. I go by the script you seem to be repeating. It is unnatural in my opinion. I agree. She has a lot of grief about the change in her life, but no real grief for Lily and Jack. Janie seems to mirror the comments and feelings of others. Very interesting. Has she signed up for some needed therapy? Oh shit, where would you start? That would give her somewhere to talk to or someone to talk to instead of putting this out on social media. Well, she's not looking for genuine therapy. She's looking to bullshit people. You can't do that in a therapist's office. Janie's not a fan of the truth. She wouldn't do well in a therapy setting. In my opinion.
Because she's trying to get me to let go of my mind and just believe her blindly.
Here, take some of this. Take some of this acid.
You may think that you know us, but you don't know nothing about us. Is all you could do is just go on what people say.
Now listen.
We have a whole lot of
Well,
time
now
to cry
you
in
get to know
prison.
the real me.
Uh-huh.
I do have a heart,
Okay.
and I would not harm those children, and neither would Daniel. He may come off all tough and everything,
But Daniel did harm the children.
What did she
but
say?
I know he had nothing to do with us.
See, Wade says that he was abusive towards the children. He hit the children. So did Malaya. Malaya told Wade that. Wade told the world. I have a tendency to believe Wade because of Danny's ongoing, let's say, overstepping behavior. His abusive behavior. He's got a whole history of it.
Unaliving those kids
Oh my God. What did she say?
because they don't believe anything we say.
Ah,
They believe
sorry.
total strangers have. And
Oh. Oh,
you may think that you know us, but you don't know nothing about us.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like she's sucking on a lemon. She's sucking on a lemon or something. What are those sound effects? You're a psycho. Janie, you're a psycho.
Is all you could do is just go on what people say.
I go by what you say.
Well, now you're getting to know the real me.
Yeah.
Do your
I
research.
do have a heart, and I would not harm those children, and neither would Daniel. He may come off all tough and everything, but I know he had nothing to do with unaliving those kids.
Please help me out with this. What did she just say?
So you take it as it is. And everybody says, when I said my heart doesn't lie,
What the fuck?
well, my heart is still not lying to me.
Oh my God. Oh. Elizabeth Taylor, eh? Oh, you know when I said my heart doesn't lie? Well, it's still not lying. What the fuck is all of this shit? Callie says your heart is full of shit. That's so ridiculous. That is quite the cry fest. Oh, she's pushing that through the tears. She's such a romantic. Man, how can you resist the temptation?
When I said my art doesn't lie, well, my art is still not lying to me. But it's okay for Belinda to say that in her art she figures the kids are dead.
Right.
It's okay for her to say that. Now, any grandmother that would think that doesn't think much of her grandchildren. I still have hope. And I know those kids are...
Why don't you explain that one to us there, Nutty? No, Janie, you're trying to shame Belinda for her opinion and her common sense in this matter, considering your behavior and the way that you and Daniel and Malaya are all behaving in light of Jack and Lily's fate, which, by the way, should be a primary focus in whatever it is that you're crying about. But it's not. You're crying over self and your perceived wrongs over social media that you can always turn away from. You don't have to participate. Mike's opinion is just so affecting you right now. What are you smoking, girl?
They're alive.
No.
Because when I heard them Friday morning, they were alive.
No.
Belinda wasn't the last person to see them live.
I do.
Because to tell you the truth,
Uh-huh.
I've had it with all this bullshit.
So what you want?
Our lives will never be the same again.
Well, tell me that. Fuck, that's the understatement of the year. Our lives will never be the same again. Yes, Mother.
Remember when she said,
Why don't you get yourself a Kleenex there?
Malaya put her head on her shoulder. And Janie said, I should be putting my head on Malaya's shoulder. Can you believe that? Now, I don't care how Malaya acted. I don't care if she's crying or not. If she puts her head on your shoulder, is that what you would think? I should be putting my... Why should you put your head on her shoulder, Janie? You see, I tried my best. But then again, I was fluctuating between trying and saying, what the hell is this, man?
Cool J, you got a good point. Janie, you basically thought the kids were dead on day one. Don't tell me you found the kids dead, was a statement you made. That is quite a weird statement on day one of the search to make. Absolutely. You have been the one that introduced red rum. Nobody else. She's quite the liar, isn't she? You're scaring Princess. Hold on. What does that say? Or Patricia. JM, you and your words are scaring me. Scaring Patricia. Imagine the therapy costs if you were my mother. I guess we should pity DM now. Don't think so. He's a real Norman Bates around this fucking trailer. Oh, let me just go talk to my mother. Let me just go talk to Janie. Oh, are you staying long? Careful in that one little shower cylinder in your trailer. Well, Janie, you're not talking from the heart, says Julie. You are babbling out of your arse now in the style of Will Smith. Take Belinda's name out of your mouth. Oh, Danny, why don't you go ask your mother? Go ask Mother. Is Mother okay with it? Malaya. Janie said no.
You know? I mean, the brief.
I know, Patricia.
Oh my gosh, dude. And look how she compares herself to Belinda. She copied Belinda the same as she copied Sonny Austin's intonation. Do it for Jack and Lily. I want to get you. I got you. She does the same thing that she thinks works for other people. So when she heard Belinda say, I know in my heart, I feel in my heart that their kids are no longer alive. And Belinda told me it was because of two reasons. Number one, pain and sorrow. The words that Malaya used in her only interview. Pain and sorrow. That's a very final thing. That's about saying goodbye, people. You cannot underestimate that. There's more to come, by the way, a lot more audio that I have. And little by little, I'm going to introduce it to you.
Oh, awesome. That's so funny. Again, Mike Dammann's link to this Stop Talking and Start Listening, Janie, for your own best, your own good, is pinned to the top of chat at this moment in time. You know, let's just listen to the old bag once again.
The morning of May 2nd, take me through what happened.
Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock, sat in there and had my tea, and then on Facebook, 7 o'clock.
Here's Mother.
I get up.
Isn't it interesting that Norman Bates was into taxidermy? Daniel, you guys have chickens. Both have birds. Mother likes her birds. Do you like to dress up like your mother? Like Norman Bates, Danny? What happened? Maybe Malaya walked in on you, dressing up in your mother's bloomers and her dresses, or her one dress. Oh my God, I wonder what happened.
Come over here. Fed my chickens. My brother, Ron, called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town with him. And I said no. I said I'm staying home. I said I'm going back to bed.
Match 8.
That's what it is. This RV is a fucking coffin. It's Janie's coffin. What are they trying to sell me in this? 3 versus 3 pro team golf? What the hell's going on?
Next thing you know, my dog started barking and the kids were out in the yard. Now you can see there's 2 swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played.
And so that's where...
That's where I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer.
What a nut bar. No, she doesn't have anything to hide, does she? Nothing to see here, nothing to hide. I've got nothing to hide. Wow, nothing gets by her in the trailer except the most important thing. Yeah, I just want you to come over and take a look at the place, exactly where things took place here. You know, in reality, this move had several purposes. She called the CBC in after doing like this massive cleanup because she was embarrassed about the state of the place over the course of like May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd, that in the search. Boy, you guys were really focused in on cleaning up the place rather than look for Jack and Lily. That's interesting. How come all your doors are fucked up? Got the front door on the trailer, the door in the chicken coop.
If two kids get out of a fence,
An appeal to logic. This is one of them. This is the way it is. And she, in her messages to Mike, has incorporated it over and over again. Janie, this makes you look guilty AF. Who are you, Socrates? Homer? Oh, what a real... Wow, what a real paradox. You're not even a fucking 10th grade physics teacher, girl.
and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard...
Did you notice that edit? Notice that edit from CBC. We missed Durwood. We missed that stupid looking son of a bitch in the driveway, didn't we? Can we see him right there?
Kids get out of the fence and come out through here.
Let's see. Oh, there's those assholes down there.
I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling.
Are you sure?
He was yelling for Jack and Lily. I didn't get up because I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lily in the house. So the next thing you know, I came out of the trailer after I heard Daniel, about, I'd say, 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door, was standing here. Malaya was standing right here with Meadow on her hip. And I come out and I said, what's...
What an idiot. There's that fucking idiot Durwood right there, that Darren Geddes. Crackhead extraordinaire. Oh, Mr. Helpful. Oh, yeah. He's a racist fucker, too. Yes, Snarky Pants, you want to see that picture? Ninchi has a video that shows a big pile of wood right where the swings are that morning. Magically disappeared the next day. Yeah, we have that image. Yeah, there is a big pile from the drone photo. There's a big pile of cordwood that needed to be stacked. The fact that she wants just to randomly hear them. Bitch, you live in your fucking driveway. Were you busy down at the pool? You weren't in any other room. It's impossible to get any closer. It's interesting how you refer to it as a driveway, Janie Poo. Now you want to refer to all of this as your front yard? I don't think so. It's your driveway. It is your driveway. You lived in it. You even called it your driveway. Why don't we talk about the reasons why you had to move out there in the first place? Nice shirt, Durwood. You should have been there with JM, and Kent should have been there too. You know, to support JD. I can't wait to push that son of a bitch in the ocean. He's a dirty fucking son of a bitch. I'm going to fucking get him with like a fly swatter like 25 times. Like a heavy one with a steel handle. And like Madrid flypaper at the end, like it's a sticky, like it sticks to your skin. So I'm going to have to slap him 25 times, but I'm going to also have to peel it off his fucking... I'm going to peel off all his beard hair. His greasy beard hair. Is that Logan Way in the background with Danny? Why? Because she looks 4 feet wide? I don't think so. I don't know, though, actually. I can't say. Maybe you're right, it is. It's the whole clique. The crew. Nasty old fucking hags. Probably ate the kids. Claire, you know Janie's a nut job, but where the hell is the mother? He knows she isn't scared. She's a crafty woman, and she is to blame as much as him. I have so much respect for Belinda Malaya. Speak up. Well, thanks for the reminder. Well, she's not as vocal. She doesn't have any communiques with the public in that sense. Janie, she's just thrown herself out there because she thought she was scot-free. She's rid of all of this. And look at what you guys have done to her. She can barely sleep at night. She has to take 4 Oxycontins now just to get a good night's sleep. And she's even more addicted to Timu than ever.
With Meadow on her hip. And I come out and I said, "What's up?" She said, "Jack and Lily are missing." I said, "How long?" She said, "About 20 minutes." I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here, ran up in the woods. Just right up here. The kids have a little fort that they made out of sticks and fir branches. And that's where they go. You can see them.
That's where Danny was conceived. Janie and Earl did the nasty there in their little fort, and that's how Daniel came along, and Justin. That's their normal habitat, their mating habitat.
Hear them. We went for walks in the woods. I had to practically carry Jack through the woods because there was no way that he was walking through all that tree falls and bushes. I did this whole area. There's an old road up back. When I got up to the top of the hill, I met Daniel. And I said to him, I said, "Did you find them?" He said, "No." He said, "You coming with me?" I said, "No." I said, "I'm going to search this area." Because when she told me the kids were missing, you automatically think they went into the woods. That was my first instinct. Mm-hmm. So I went up and I did this whole area, this whole wooded area, right up to the top of the dirt road, came back down here and came back down the side of the road, come back down here and came back up the same spot. I went back into the house. By the time the cops were here, I don't know exactly what time, I didn't take my phone. The cops were here. There was a bench sitting here, or a sawhorse, it's over there, was sitting here.
And this is where I was crying. This is where Mother was crying. And the reason I was crying, she had to make a big performance because of Belinda's write-up in the paper. This point in time, the Globe and Mail didn't make her look very good. And she was sensitive to that. But the fact that she's wanting you to believe the reasons in which she was crying, like, you can always say it's personal. What does it matter? The point is, she needs you to believe something. She needs to believe that she needs you to believe something that really isn't.
Here. I was sitting on it, bawling my eyes out. I was crying because I blame myself for not getting up that morning to see the kids. Because if I would have got up, this wouldn't have never happened. Okay?
If you would have never got up, this would have never happened. That's really not saying anything in the first place, you dope. What is it you're saying, you old bag, you old nasty hag? The old witch on a broomstick? If this would have never happened, was there double negative in that?
To see the kids. Because if I would have got up, this wouldn't have never happened. Okay?
What's this? What are you talking about? What happened? If you would have got up, the kids wouldn't have been disappeared? Are you sure? See, it's not believable, honey. Yeah, if you were nicer to the kids, they probably wouldn't be dead.
That's why I was crying.
We've heard a lot about the patio door.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go see that.
Sure.
So this is the patio door.
This is the patio door
that Jack and Lily would have.
that Jack and Lily came out of.
And so tell us why we've heard about the patio door.
Because everybody's saying on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok that the patio door makes a noise, and why they didn't hear the door open. The bedroom is back there. Okay?
That's so funny. She goes out to point out 3 different apps. YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. She's monitoring them all. She's got her ear to the ground. It just smells like a strong campaign of disinformation. Old Janie plans on getting away with something.
That bar window.
The last window is the bedroom.
The hell does that have to do with anything, you old bag?
And so they would have come out this door.
They would have come out this
that
door.
morning.
Yes.
And then they went and played on the swing set.
Yes.
And that's when you heard them.
That's when I heard them. Right here in this area here.
Hey, Kent. Kent, I know you're listening to this.
Fuck you!
Kent,
Fuck you!
there's a comment in my chat for you. Clara Wood says, AB, I think I despise that Kent just as much. I had my eye on that Kent from day one. He's a danger. Oh yeah, he's a playground watcher. So AB, if you do see Kent Corbett, make sure he knows he's hated. Oh, fuck, he'll have his picture up on the registry in no time. We can see him a mile away, his behavior. Fucking weirdo. What a dirty, dirty, dirty son of a bitch.
I plan on putting a pool up this year for the kids. You need level ground for a pool. That's what I was doing. I was leveling out the ground to set up the pool.
And this is the Thursday.
This is Thursday.
Right.
Friday, all the investigators, search and rescue and everything, right around here was where they found the only footprint.
This is where the boot.
This is where I was raking that night. That's where the boot print was found. In the mud where I was raking.
I thought there was 2 boot prints.
There was supposed to be a footprint found way up on the pipeline.
Right.
Malaya sent me the picture of it. That's all I know. There was a footprint found.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, the footprint was here. The only one that they can confirm that was Lily and Jack's was right here.
So it was child size.
Yes, a man, one of the investigators came in here and was measuring it all. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to lie. The reason why I wanted you guys to come here and do the interview here is to show you exactly where everything took place.
Ooh, that everything. Wonder what everything is. I'm not here to lie. Oh, okay, mother. I'm not here to lie.
Okay, with me.
Hold on. Toucan. Sam.
I see a few things that
Mike's got another one. Mike's got another one.
he doesn't understand deceptive language. She just doesn't, okay? Well, let me say it like this. Okay, let's keep going, people. I haven't heard this one yet.
Why are everything pointed at Daniel and myself? Okay? Oh, no.
She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand deceptive language. She just doesn't, okay? Her logic, I guess I will send her a private message again, but her logic is, you see, now I'm doing other things at the same time.
Oh, wait, Malaya could do nothing wrong. No, she's
Malaya could do nothing wrong. Why don't you... Well, we haven't had the need to scrutinize any of her statements. That's the RCMP's job, Janie. We're scrutinizing what it is that you have to say. We're talking to you. There hasn't been a real need to get an eye off of you, considering all of the lies that you've presented us. Helicopter Grandma, read your comment above. I'm looking for it and I don't see it. I don't see another comment. How far? Oh, we don't care where the bedroom is, JM. It is a Tin Mobile home where you can hear everything. Is that the one that you want me to read? That's Helicopter Grandma, Janie. Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Helicopter Grandma, they're Helo Grandma. Yeah, it's just outside your door. It's like sleeping in the car. Well, it's bizarre, Ginger's mom, too, as to how she reacts to it, the way that she's presenting it. It's a little misaligned with, you know, she's presenting it, insinuating that everybody knows the reason or finds it, relevant to where Jack and Lily are at that point in time. Like finding one boot print in amongst an area that you manipulated is highly suspicious. That's what she's really admitting to. There's a fresh boot print, the only one we can see in the middle of an area where Janie wants us to think that she was leveling out ground for pools, filling in potholes, raking all night long. It's suspicious. She can fucking say anything she wants. It's suspicious.
goody two shoes.
She doesn't understand that I don't know how to explain it. Let me just play the whole thing.
Nobody's speaking out about her. What mother in their right mind would up and leave the premises where your two missing children went?
A mother who knows the...
Let's just zone in a little closer on what it exactly is that she said there. How is it that she could take off from a house that her kids went to? Meaning, let's listen to this again. How did you put it there, Janie? Oh, she's so eloquent, not.
Where your two missing children went?
A mother who...
What mother in their right mind would up and leave the premises where your two missing children went?
What mother in their right mind would up and leave the premises where their 2 children went? Like, what is it that you even want to say in this statement, you bozo? How is it all of a sudden you can't speak English? What kind of mother would up and leave a residence where her 2 children returned to? Let's listen to that once again.
Nobody's speaking out about her. What mother in their right mind would up and leave the premises where your two missing children went?
A mother who knows...
Where your 2 missing children went. Where your 2 missing children went. What kind of mother would up and leave the premises where your 2 missing children went? That's so infuriating to try to figure out, isn't it? It's such an insult to your intellect. You want to wash yourself of it. Oh, God. Nasty. Like, how is it that you can't say what it is that you mean, Janie? What is it that you are trying to communicate? Why is it that you're always fucking up these attempts at a metaphor or a relaying of communication, and you don't stop yourself? You just keep fabricating, keep coming out with words to fill the emotion that you're trying to put onto other people. So nasty. What an emotional vampire. Imagine how nasty she is in her real life. Oh my God, that's so difficult. Walking around telling yourself in that RV that you've got a heart of effing gold. Yeah, disassociation, Norbeaster. Yeah. I mean, whatever you need to tell yourself. Oh, I always just listen to my heart. He's probably got heart on like full blast or ghetto blaster in that RV. It's probably stuck in an 8-track in the stereo. Has been since 1978. Well, that would have been a good album then. We'll say 1988 then for Heart. The 80s Heart. How do I get you alone? Oh. That's probably Durwood and Janie's song. How do I get you alone? Alone by Heart.
Of course, the kids are dead.
Yes, Jack and Lily, your own flesh and blood.
Yeah, so why didn't she protect them from Daniel? I agree.
Whoa. How is it you could just straight up, Mike, answer Janie when what it is that she just said made absolutely no sense? Because he was anticipating her emotional response and what it was that he was filling in the blanks for her. That's a mental mistake. Even the great Mike would admit that. Not that it was very important because it didn't tell you anything. She's just full of shit. Like, she just does it nonstop. She does this all the time. And she gets you to fill in the blanks for her.
Up and leave.
That's her pattern. That's her pattern. That's her pattern.
I like to jump
That's
on her
her
feet,
pattern, to
stomp on
ignore
her
the
foot.
abuse. That's her pattern. She, when it came to Jack and Lily, she wrote them off. And she wanted to protect Meadow from you because she saw, and from Daniel, maybe. I don't know if she wanted to protect him from Daniel, but from you because she saw something.
Yeah. Listen, there has been no reason to focus on anyone other than Janie and Daniel, considering all of the allegations of abuse that were coming out from Wade early on. Coming from somewhere, you guys aren't giving us the real situation out there on Garlock Road. It was a real house of horrors. There's a lot of physicality involved. Just look at how Janie reacts to situations that she can't handle emotionally. She had to go after Haley at the end of the driveway. That's how they deal with their conflicts around there. They start slapping each other, hitting each other. Yeah, we can see that's how Daniel treated Jack and Lily. If we're to believe Wade, and I do. No reason not to believe Wade's account of things and the problems that were going on from Malaya's perspective. And that's just an extension of what Malaya's talking about this fucking jerk off doing behind closed doors. He's a fucking idiot, dude. Like, this guy shouldn't be anywhere around women in that sense. Like, that's the problem. Daniel doesn't have anything to offer women. Everything's all a delusion of grandeur. And he projects that onto people, and whoever that fits with the least amount of distortion, he goes and plugs, moves in with them, knocks them up, then beats them up, slaps them around. Janie doesn't want to talk about any of the realistic things that happened right around her. Everything happened around Janie. She never left. Can't leave the dog. Just her and her dog out there in the driveway, listening to all of this shit go on. She wants to put all of the things that she perceived to be bad onto Malaya as opposed to the relationship and the family that they were supposed to be. You're supposed to be a blended family, but you weren't treating it with the sort of respect that you needed to, especially Janie. She certainly differentiates between Daniel and Malaya and Jack and Lily's and whose responsibility is what. You living there, Janie, such a loving individual with a heart of effing gold. Reference no part of your family in relation to Jack and Lily. You treat them completely different, like they're separate entities. Snarky Pants, I would be so ashamed if I knew about this abuse and did nothing about it. She doesn't consider it abuse. When it comes across in her language, the way that she speaks about Malaya, she acknowledges all the shortcomings and all of the abuse, the neglect occurring and Jack and Lily are experiencing, but she wants to separate and distance herself from all of that accountability. No, it's Children's Aid, not CPS, and it's the parents who failed Jack and Lily in this situation. Anything else aside from that is just a distraction away from the real responsibility to the fate of Jack and Lily. You notice she cares more about seeing her grandchildren, but has not gone to see Meadow with Danny. That's odd. Well, she's not allowed to, because she's fucking crazy. Crazy and lazy. There you go, Chelsea.
In you that she thought was a danger to Meadow. Now, I don't necessarily believe that what she saw in you was a danger to your own granddaughter. But I know that what she saw in you was a danger to her own two children, but she wrote them off already. So she transferred all of her motherly, whatever was left in her, whatever maternal instinct towards Meadow alone, Janie. Okay? Meaning she wrote off Jack and Lily already for whatever reason. And I get to your Cody comment later. I get to everything. I will do it one by one. Okay? Give me a chance to do that.
Myself, if my kids went missing, they would have to drag me away.
I know that. I understand that.
They'd have to sedate me if my kids went missing. But no, not Malaya. She just up and walks away and goes with her mother.
That doesn't mean she killed them. It doesn't mean she abducted them. It doesn't mean any of that. You're seed planting, okay? Maybe the way you grew up thinking is that if a mother acts like that, she must have something to do with the disappearance, except she doesn't.
She doesn't. Hold on, before we get ahead of ourselves. I agree with Mike, but the fact is I don't believe that she actually believes that, and it's anything less than trying intentionally to make Malaya look bad. She's got a point. Otherwise, she would tell you the reason she thinks that way. She is reluctant and never states or adds any of the context behind why it is she feels that way or what it has to do with why that's suspicious. Why is it you find it suspicious? Not just a blanket statement that that's the way that you feel and that's an answer. They're two different things. She doesn't believe what it is that she's expressing. It's just a script to her. It's just a rehearsed response. In my opinion, baby. Jack not listening to anything Ginger says. Janie said to him tells me he didn't respect Janie at all. Well, listen, that's a 4-year-old's natural response to a person who he feels isn't treating him very nicely. All right? He's being made to feel that way. He's that way for a particular reason. He's standoffish because they don't treat him very well to begin with. They abuse him in the relationship that they're supposed to be having. There's nothing about Janie that says caring grandparent in any way. Their relationship, her and Daniel's, is already strained. I can believe that. She knows the reason why she's lying.
And I asked you so many times just now, Janie, I asked you, please give me something new. Give me a reason to look at Malaya as a suspect. You have a chance. Nothing. Zip, zilch, zippity-doo. Da.
Takes Madeline and goes with her mother.
Okay?
What does that tell you?
It tells me she knows Jack and Lily are dead and that she stopped caring about them somewhere along the way. Not only that day or the day before, or 2 days before rather, but a long time before. Something happened. I don't know what it is, but she became pregnant with Meadow, Daniel's child, and that's when Daniel showed her who he is, with the drug abuse and everything. And she only focused on her child Meadow, nothing else. It's as if she didn't have enough left in her for anything else. I don't know how to put it. I don't know. Somebody explain it to me. But it doesn't mean one. You can try. You see, you try to plant seeds. You have your hand full of seeds and you put them everywhere. And you say, look at the trees. But there are none. At least not yet.
You analyzed that and then you gave me the answer.
I did it just now.
And don't tell me because she was heartbroken because that woman never shed a tear.
No, she wasn't heartbroken. She was upset. I have to give her that. Okay? I see a few things in her. I see a form of duping delight. Where was that picture of her sitting down? Give me a second. She doesn't look happy, but I don't see tears. You're right. I see actually somebody trying to think of something to say. As I've said before, facial language is very important to me. And happy she doesn't look, but let's finish this.
You analyze that and you get back to me with the answer. And you tell me why all eyes are pointed on Daniel and myself.
Because you're lying.
Shit. Because you guys are lying. All right? You're supposed to all have the same story. What's it matter? Why do you have to... Listen, if one of you did something, you're all guilty of something in this circumstance. Lots of things. You kind of come as a package, Janie. You keep forgetting about your initial story. The one that you don't believe. The inconsistent one, filled with holes lacking in information, no timeline to speak of because you refuse to give any information. You're so terrified and scared. You'd rather play the I don't know card. You've given people no reason to look anywhere else in this sense, or investigators. You're literally pretending you don't know what happened, when in fact you're lying. Do you think the investigators are going to just say, okay, we believe you. We'll take your word for it, guys. No worries.
Lying and you're lying and you're lying. And because of all the things I've pointed out before. And, well, do I need to explain it to you? I don't think you understand it, Janie. I don't think you will understand it. And I think that because you don't understand it, you are going to wonder how we know. I've said it before. I bet these people think I have a crystal ball somewhere. Especially Logan McKenzie, who couldn't figure out how I was able to figure out what she was actually saying.
We're coming out and telling everything that we know. I did an interview and I talked in the chat room. You go listen to them.
I did.
And you tell me.
Do your research.
Why everything's pointed at us.
I said it to you before. You're contradicting yourself. You've told us you're raking in the middle of the night. Do I need to continue? You leaked. You didn't want to. You didn't mean to. I know that in the past, whenever you have, maybe in your life before, you could have tell people, I didn't really say that.
Janie is the one who's not getting it. All you have to do is just search up, take a look at our videos, buddy. We've been following you since the get-go. There's nothing literally that there's going to require any research into to figure out if somebody else is involved, Janie. You guys are free and open to tell us exactly what happened. We encourage it. The information that you've given the world so far isn't acceptable, and it's not any information whatsoever.
You said about raking that night. And then you said, no kids here. Why have a pool? Was not raking the driveway.
Remember
Why
the
did
old
you
bat?
say no kids here?
Remember that, you old bat, when you contradicted yourself, whether you were raking out in the driveway to begin with in people's chats? What a dopey dope.
Why have a pool? We were talking about Thursday, not now that there are no kids. Why not? Was not raking the driveway on Thursday night. That has nothing to do with now. There were a lot of kids there that Thursday night. Look at what you're doing. This is blatant lie. This is... Janie! Listen to me, please. Don't try to make it sound like... Don't tell me you are listening to Belinda. I don't need to listen to Belinda. I am listening to her, but what I'm saying had nothing to do with Belinda and what she said. You make it so obvious, Janie. You are your own worst enemy and so blatant. Don't you understand? Don't you understand? If I did, don't you... And then it had to be pointed out by so many people till you finally said, yes, I was raking where the pool was going. You didn't say, I was raking the driveway. You said where the pool was going. You are again trying to make it seem like the pool was the only reason. That makes it highly sensitive. That's unnecessary to say where the pool was going. You feel a need to convince us. I'm going to slow everything down. I'm going to say everything that I have to say. I'm going to make very, very, very clear.
Yeah, that's a definite, consistent thing in the attempt to convince rather than inform, to persuade the audience into thinking a particular way. That's Janie. That's Janie's statements to a T. She's looking to persuade an audience rather than talk about any of the situation with Jack and Lily. She's omitting everything. In fact, she's talking as though there's nothing wrong, except giving away the fact that anything that was abusive or going wrong, she ignored because Daniel and Malaya are adults and they can sort out their own problems. What happens in the trailer is their business. After telling you that she hears everything when she's in that RV out there, nothing gets by old Janie when she's in there. Except this, of course, because she was drifting in and out of sleep. Again, that's not an excuse. That's almost leakage on its own when you use that excuse.
That I do my best to
Not
help
almost,
you
it is.
understand it, and maybe others will benefit from it as well.
It's a forum.
And then you said around supper time Thursday night, you mix things up when you get desperate. You need to keep it in order, no matter how emotional you get over these types of things. You get so emotional that you don't even try to make sense, or you can't. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea why you're doing it. The same way I have no idea why Malaya wasn't able to cry over her 2 children having died.
And not Malaya. Anybody in their right mind.
Because Malaya...
I don't even consider it a real genuine question to begin with, worthy of answering, because of who's asking it and the way that they're asking it. No possible way. It's not a question worth answering in this circumstance because it's overlooking the obvious.
Is not doing the same thing that you are doing. And Daniel, don't you understand how invested you are? And the more you talk, the more you leak. I believe Malaya knows exactly what happened.
When they use...
I do believe.
It's leaking... It's leaking insincerity. When Janie uses that term, for example, or anybody there, about this drifting in and out of sleep, therefore they don't have to be accountable in the moment to a time frame or a lot of time to an event in recalling a story, it's leaking insincerity about the words that they're trying to convince you of, trying to persuade you into believing rather than talking about what is. And things that you would otherwise stick out if you generally were in a situation, if it was legit and they weren't trying to throw you a cover story and talk about the reality of the situation. There's so much.
That you give us so much to work with, even now.
Would not leave.
I remember the advice I just gave you earlier. The advice was come clean. They're going to give Daniel the max of 10 years for what Malaya accuses him of. You want to save him? Tell everything. That's the message, by the way, that I left right here. What is the solution? Tell everything that happened on Thursday, but again, you're avoiding it.
The premises where your children went missing. If they didn't know what was going on.
She knows what's going on. And now you're careful to tell us what's going on.
Would be crying my eyes out and begging on the news. Anybody I knew, any YouTuber that I knew, I'd be on there begging.
Listen to her. Hey, bitch, you were there just like Malaya, and you're not on the news begging. Why is it exactly you can't beg for Jack and Lily? You can just use this language to persuade us. You're there, Janie. Nobody else is. They're your step-grandchildren, you old hag. You idiot. You're no different than Malaya. You're no different than Malaya when it comes to guardianship of the safeguarding of those children on this property and the responsibility for them missing, especially in how you're helping out after the fact. Why aren't you on the news begging and pleading, Janie?
For my kids. For my kids. Malaya's not. You analyze that and tell me your answer why.
Stay tuned.
Because that's only the mother's job. It's not your job there carrying grandma.
And just show people that this is what happened. All the stuff that people, all the rumors and accusations about us murdering the kids and burying them on the property, this place has been searched thoroughly. The well has been checked, the septic tank, all the barns have been searched. My RV was searched 3 times. The trailer was searched. This whole place was searched. If they want to come back and search again, they're more than welcome.
Whoops. Hello, Lynn. Hello, AB and everyone. When Daniel is eventually sentenced for these latest 3 charges, do you think Janie will follow and finally stay absolutely quiet, or will it prompt her to come forward? I'm going with quiet. She'll shut her yap. It's got nothing to do with Jack and Lily, she'll say. There'll be something. She doesn't have the proper motivation yet. Well, Janie says, helicopter grandma, you would not let the RCMP go into the trailer because of your stupid dog when 2 beautiful children are missing. Frick me. Sorry, they all make me sick. Well, I hear you. There's a reason for that.
You've talked about drones flying over your property. You've talked about cars driving down the road and slowing down. What's that been like?
I'm scared to go out sometimes in my own property. I mostly stay around back here. And if I do go out front for anything, I usually have my head down because I don't want people to see who I am. That is me myself. It's not because I'm hiding from anybody. I don't like to be on camera. I don't like my picture taken. I'm just a quiet person that just wants to be left alone, and I mind my own business. I'm just a hermit.
Do you feel as if the finger has been pointed towards you and Daniel?
Yes, I do. Because I live on the property. Come on.
Do you think your son had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily?
No, I don't believe Daniel had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. Our heart don't lie, and my heart is telling me that my kid did not have nothing to do with this, and I had nothing to do with this.
Boy, you get pissed off easily. No, you have everything to do with this, Janie. That's why it makes you so upset. It's disgusting to think at how low and selfish some people think about 2 missing children. Face the truth and stop trying to save your arses. Step up and take what is coming. Never. She'll never admit to any wrongdoing in all of this. It's already started. It's all Malaya's fault. because Jack and Lily were Malaya's responsibility only, and nobody else is on there. Do you see part of the control, the architecture, or the structure of control at work there? You can see the dysfunction dripping off of the place. And they put all of that onto the kids, who need the exact opposite of that. They need nurturing, strong function, even half-assed schedule, and they couldn't hack it in that sense. And it was all Malaya's fault, according to Janie. And Janie doesn't have anything to do with any of that, because, of course, they're not her kids. Even though she wants to convince you that she was such a caring step-grandparent in this scenario, looked after the kids all of the time, when it's just not true. The fact that she says it how she does tells you that she's desperate to cover up what really happened. She doesn't have time to think things through. She denies all wrongdoing, blames Malaya, pretends not to know, prioritizes herself as opposed to the fate of Jack and Lily and what happened. Oh, she heard him out there. Heard. So soft. Tells me that you're not very confident in your story. The kids weren't out there that morning, Janie. Something happened to the kids the previous night. And you and Daniel spent the evening and following morning into May 2nd disposing of the bodies, hiding them, and trying to figure out how you need to call the RCMP and report the kids missing in order to try to get away with this and come up with the bullshit story. And that's just what you've done. And it's obvious. Like, it really is obvious to the public and to police. So this is really how you're going to go down? I think this is a hill that she's going to die on. Joyce, we're with you. Janie's no caring grandmother, no doubt. Janie is a fucking psycho. Janie is a killer. A child killer. Just like Danny. Just like the movie Psycho there at 1207 Garlock Road. Absolutely. It's terrifying just imagining it. What did you do to Jack and Lily? You're going to tell the RCMP. So you can't handle the reality and the questions that surround the fate of Jack and Lily. You guys do your best to avoid talking about them. At some point, you're going to have to answer. And you're going to have that conversation with detectives. I wonder how that's going to go. You guys fold like a dirty or a cheap suit when anybody asks you any sort of questions around the sensitivities that you have around the drug use. Just staunch denial, even when you have two people completely free as eyewitness accounts to what had happened, the most important time frame, we'll call it, in all of this, which is between 11 and midnight, May 1st, into the wee hours, 4 a.m., May 2nd. Old Danny was busy. So was Janie. Day like any other, just a normal old day. You guys are so fucking lazy that you sleep in till like all morning. You're up, you report the kids sick from school without even interacting with them. I wonder why that was, Malaya. This was anything but an ordinary day. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
That happens, you get like your heart drops. Mine hasn't dropped. Deep down in my heart, I do believe Jack and Lily are alive. It's not because of what people are saying.
You're a fucking weirdo, dude. I've got an effing heart of gold. I've got a heart of effing gold, Janie says. She's always talking about this heart of hers. What a wicked individual. You're going straight to hell, honey. Worse than that. Claire Wood says, AB, when Tucker the dog has to be rehomed when Janie is sectioned or in a cell doing life for being a cruel old bag hiding truth, I think that UAB should adopt Tucker the doggy in the window. I don't know about that. I'll think about it. I don't think it's going to be a problem. We'll definitely follow that, though. That's an interesting point that you made. Tucker will need a new home. Maybe people will like to make up some advertisements, put that around the Facebook groups, accept some applications for a new home for Tucker. I'm sure Janie will really appreciate it. Oh, you guys. All right, 2.5 hours, friends. Thank you for putting yourself through this. Make sure that you go over and check out Mike Dammann and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for the fabulous sound clips, Mike. What a wealth and treasure trove of even more indicators of deception by way of one of the last individuals to be with Jack and Lily Sullivan, who are missing and presumed dead at this point in time, sadly. And you're looking at one of the people responsible for that on your screen, like it or not. Only she's just in utter denial. Leave with some G-Funk till we get the hell on up out of here, friends. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you're keeping an eye out. I might probably do 2 streams tomorrow. I've got an open day.